Srimate Ramakrishna. Good evening. So nice to be spending a few days here with all of you and having some nice talks about spiritual life. And tonight our topic is the power of devotion. Now, the idea of this talk actually is the ideal devotee presented to us in the Ramayana. That is Hanuman. Hanumanji, he is the ideal devotee. He has that servant devotion, that dasya bhakti it's called. And with what devotion he serves Rama, and that brings him tremendous power. It's a devotion of power. So that is the idea of that inspired this topic, that actually devotion to God is not something that weakens us. Sometimes we may think, oh, the devotees, they got all weepy-eyed, no? I don't want that, all that wet noodle type of life. I want strength. Well, look at Hanumanji, full of the most profound devotion for Sri Rama, and yet full of strength and power. So that's the idea here about Sri Hanumanji and Sri Rama and their remarkable relationship. Actually, Swami Vivekananda also promoted this kind of ideal, the ideal of Mahavir, of the great hero Hanuman, and his devotion of service, of power. And so I'd like to start, though, by remembering thinking a little bit about who is Rama. And there's a verse, there are a few favorite verses that we chant at the beginning of the Ram Nam Sankirtan. This tradition has started here also wonderfully usually on the Ekadashi, the 11th day of the lunar fortnight. Ram Nam is sung. And Ram Nam, there are 108 names of Sri Rama, but before that there are some verses, Sanskrit verses, which are sung. And these verses are actually composed by Tulsidas. Though he wrote his Ramcharitmanas, his Ramayana, was written in the local language of the time, Avadi or something like that, yeah, Avadi. But he composed some Sanskrit verses also to separate the different chapters of his work. And we chant some of those at the beginning of the Ram Nam. And this one is one of my favorites. There's several. They're so beautiful. Oh, let's see. Mulam dharmataror viveka jaladhi purnendumanandaram vairagyam bhujabhaskaram yaghagana dhvantapaham tapaham moham bodhara punja patana vidhav kesambhavam shankaram vande brahmakule kalanka shamanam Shri Rama Bhupa Priyam. So let me give the translation. Him who is the very root of the tree of Dharma, the bliss-giving full moon rising over the sea of Viveka, the sun bringing to blossom the lotus of Vairagya, the dispeller of the massive darkness of sin and the sufferings born of it, the auspicious and heaven-born wind scattering the heavy clouds of delusion, the emancipator of the line of Brahmanas from the stain brought on it by Ravana, that Rama, the beloved of all, do I adore. So this is such an attractive description of Rama. Well, we can just ask ourselves, what happens when we think of a great spiritual teacher, a great spiritual personality like Sri Rama, who is described here? What happens to us when we think about them, when we think deeply on them, when we meditate on them?
Good vibrations.
We inherit their qualities. As we think of their blessed qualities, we inherit their qualities. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, he used to tell his disciples, meditate on me, and you will inherit my wealth. Just as a son or a daughter inherits the wealth of their parents, you will inherit my wealth by meditating on me. And what is my wealth? That's that same idea. Viveka, Vairagya, Bhakti, Jnana, all these spiritual qualities, that's the wealth. We're not talking about bank balance wealth. We're talking about the true wealth, those spiritual qualities which will help us cross the ocean of life and find the eternal truth, find the divine shining in all our hearts. So this verse describes Rama, a remarkable description of Sri Rama. First, he talks about Rama as being the root of the tree of Dharma. Now, what is Dharma? Dharma is a word which is not really translatable into English. It's often translated as the way or as religion or something like that. Let's look at the meaning. The root of the word Dharma, the root word is dhr, which means to support or uphold. So Dharma is actually the essential quality of something, the essence of it, that which supports that thing, that object. A simple example, what is the dharma of water? The dharma of water is to flow and to make things wet. It's wetness. So what is the dharma of human beings? Well, what is our very essence? Vedanta tells us, the saints and sages tell us, our very essence is divinity. So our dharma, true dharma, is to manifest that divinity. To manifest that divinity in life. So dharma is actually a whole way of life, a way in which we orient our entire life, our entire being, towards this ideal of manifesting our divinity. So any action which we do, which brings us greater manifestation of divinity, any action we do which brings us closer to God, is dharmic action. And anything we do which takes us away from that is adharma, is an adharmic action, a non-dharmic action, an action not in line with that ideal, that which takes us away from God. So we can also see that naturally that dharma varies according to the person, because certainly the actions which a king should undertake to take him closer to God are different from the actions that a shoemaker needs to take him or her closer to God. So each of us actually has our own unique dharma, our swadharma, it's said. And to find our swadharma, to live according to our swadharma, is a great challenge and important a goal to attain in life. But the overarching idea of dharma is this, manifesting our divinity, doing that which brings us closer to God. So Rama is described here as the very root of the tree of dharma. If we think of dharma as a tree, then the very root is Sri Rama. How is that possible? If dharma is manifesting our divinity, what's the root of that tree? The divine. But Rama is the divine. Rama is considered as avatar, as a man-god, as a God-man, as a manifestation of divinity on earth. So he's described here as the root of dharma. But also, we see in Sri Rama's life how his life is in perfect accordance with dharma, with the life, with the dharma of a king, this kshatriya dharma. Perfect and absolute dedication to truth. How he protected his father from saying an untruth. Because when he agreed immediately, yes, I will fulfill your word. I will go to the forest in exile for 14 years. Why? Because you have said so. And he was so even-minded when his father told him, Rama, it's now time for me to install you as the Yugaraja. You're going to be the next king. It's time for you to start taking up that duty. Did he show any elation? No. He was perfectly even-minded. Yes, father, as you wish. Not like some princes, at last the old man is stepping down. Now I get my chance to be the king. No, none of that. And and then of course we know the machinations of the evil nurse and the Bharata's mother who decides to who decides to cash in on the boon that she was promised by Dasharatha so many years before, and so Dasharatha is stunned that, oh my God, Bharat is to be put on the throne, not Rama, and Rama is to go to the forest for 14 years. He's heartbroken. He comes to Rama and says, my son, I don't know what to do. Was Rama dejected? No. Just, oh yes, father, you have given your word. Well, I will go. I will gladly go. So that control, he had this wonderful even-mindedness compared to like his brother Lakshmana. Lakshmana at any perceived insult, he's ready to jump up and fight, right? And Rama always says, wait, brother, wait. Let's find out more. See what all this is about before taking any hasty action. And what control of his passions, his anger, and a great defender of the people, the destroyer of the Rakshasas. He really demonstrated this, what is now called servant leadership. A leader who serves the people. It's not like the leader who from behind says, hey, you do this and do that. He's someone who actually serves the people. So that's the first part of this idea, that he is the very root of the tree of Dharma. And then this beautiful idea that he's the Purnendum Anandadam, the bliss-giving moon, the full moon of bliss, which is rising over the Viveka Jaladhi, rising over the sea of Viveka. What is Viveka? That practice which we Vedantists know that we apply it in our lives to discern between what is the eternal and what is the ephemeral. And looking in this world, what is eternal in this world? What will give me a sure refuge in this world? What is not changing in this world? And we discover there's nothing in this world which is eternal. Nothing in this world which doesn't change. Nothing in this world which gives us any security. And then, at the same time, we find that which doesn't change. And that is Sri Rama himself, the divine itself. And what happens when we start finding the divine? That joy. We start tasting that joy. That's why Rama is the full bliss-giving moon rising above the sea of Viveka. And what happens? When the sun arises, the lotuses burst into blossom. And Rama is also the Vairagyam Bhujabhaskaram. He's the sun, which when rising, the lotus of Vairagya bursts into blossom. So just as the sea of Viveka leads to the lotus of Vairagya must be floating on the sea of Viveka, because following Viveka, when we realize that everything in this world is impermanent, naturally it loses its attraction for us. We think, well, I'm not that interested in that which I'm going to lose. I want that which I won't lose. And so this attachment for God comes. That's Vairagya. This lessening of interest in the impermanent and an attachment to the permanent. And that is like a blossom, like the heart, the lotus of the heart, which burst into blossom when, Sri Ramakrishna has that beautiful story of when Sri Rama entered the court, and all the courtiers are there. And as he enters the court, all their hearts burst into blossom. The lotuses of their hearts burst into blossom. And as Sri Ramakrishna is telling that, he himself experiences that same state, and he enters into samadhi, into communion with the divine. So then, just go through this verse because it's such a beautiful verse. Hya gagana dhantapaham dapaham, destroying, dispelling the massive darkness of sin and the sufferings of sin. Sin, in Vedanta we don't like the term sin. I don't like the word sin. That was the translation given. Sorry. We say, okay, error, adharma. We make mistakes, and we'll have to suffer for those. We'll have to suffer the consequences because karma is inevitable, inexorable. There's only one being who can wipe out karma. That is God. That is Ishvara. That is Sri Rama, who can dispel the effects of karma. No one else can do that. No person can take on our karma for us. Only God can release us from our karma. So that idea that Sri Rama dispels that heavy weight of suffering that comes to us due to all the misdeeds we have done in life. Then, this beautiful image. Why do we not see God? Why do we not see the sun? Today it was cloudy, part of the day. Why do we not see the sun? Because of the clouds. This heavy cloud of delusion, moha, which obscures our vision of the divine. We don't see God. Why? Because there's a cloud, and yet it's a heavy mass of a cloud. And Sri Rama is the heaven-born wind, breeze, which blows away that cloud of delusion. Moham bho dharapunja padana vidho kes hambhavam shankaram. That auspicious breeze, born of heaven, which blows away, dispels that cloud of moha, which is obscuring our vision of the divine. And then finally the last line, one day I adore that Rama, that adorable divine man, that king, Sri Rama, who is Brahmhukule Kalanka Shamanam. He cleanses the lineage of the Brahmanas. Why? Because, see, the Brahmanas, Ravana was a Brahmin. He was a Brahmana. But he was such a wicked man. So he has stained the lineage of Brahmanas by his wicked actions. So Rama kills Ravana. And what happens when Rama or any avatar, the Divine Mother, when the Divine Mother kills a Rakshasa, when Rama kills a Rakshasa? Send them to hell for eternity? No. They release them. Rama releases Ravana from his sins and liberates him. So you can attain liberation also by hating God, by fighting God. If Rama comes and kills you, he's not going to send you to hell, he's going to send you to heaven. He's going to release you. So Rama has freed has purified the lineage of the Brahmins by killing Ravana and liberating him. So this is that verse that we chant in the Ram Nam, one of the verses describing Sri Rama. I love it. I hope you also can appreciate the beauty of it. I'd like to just share a little personal note about my introduction to Sri Rama. It's quite interesting to me thinking about it now, because it was not on my grandmother's lap. That's the Hindu tradition, in the joint families especially. How do children learn about religion, about dharma, about all the stories of the ancient, the Puranic stories and the Ramayana and all of that? They learn it from their grandparents, and maybe especially on their grandmother's lap. They hear all that. Now, I had a very good grandmother, but she wasn't Hindu. So she couldn't teach me about Rama. She taught me a lot about other things, but not about Rama. And I hadn't read anything of Sri Rama's life, the Ramayana or anything like that. I hadn't seen any movies, I hadn't read the comic books. No? How did I learn about Rama then? Simply by hearing his name. I was in Boulder, Colorado, and there was a small ashrama there. It was actually just two vanaprasthis, this couple who were totally dedicated to God. They were actually originally Jewish, but they're totally Hindu. And I mean, to the point that they lived in this small basement apartment, and every day they would do a homa, a yajna, and the ceiling was just black, covered with smoke, and it didn't matter. They had this big, most of the apartment was this big shrine, and they would invite people to come and have kirtan. And so I somehow got invited to their home, and we sang for at least an hour. What did we sing? Just this. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And it started out really slow, and the husband, he had this ektar, that's one-stringed instrument, and he would pluck that thing, and we would just chant, and so I just joined. I thought, what am I doing here? Well, okay, they're chanting, I'm going to chant with them. And on and on, gradually increasing the speed and the enthusiasm, and we would think that isn't that boring? You're just singing the same thing over and over again. The devotees of God know a tremendous secret. The devotees of chanting the name of God know a great secret, that it gives us tremendous bliss. There's tremendous joy hidden in the name of God, a tremendous joy hidden in the name of Rama. How do we taste that joy? Simply by repeating the name. By repeating the name, somehow we start tasting that joy, and it tastes so good that we want to keep repeating it. So this sadhaka, obviously he had tasted that joy a lot, and he was sharing it with us by leading us in this kirtan. So I started tasting the joy of the name of Rama. It's tasting that power of attraction that the divine has for us. The divine is always attracting us. And when we start chanting the name, we start feeling that attraction. Such a simple, sweet name, Rama. Just 2 letters, Rama, Rama. And chanting that name, so powerful. It's a mantra chanted by millions of people all over the world, perhaps by billions of people. So for me, I didn't know about Rama, I only heard his name, but that was enough. So Rama, considered, on the one hand, yes, Rama is Dasharatha's son who killed Ravana and rescued Sita and all those things, but Rama is also the infinite divine reality, the infinite all-loving Lord. And that is the experience of the name of Rama. Sri Ramakrishna also emphasized this power of the divine name and had a number of stories about the name of Rama itself. Very nice stories. He said that, he gave the example of Hanumanji. He said, it is said in the Purana that Rama, who was God himself, had to build a bridge to cross the sea to Sri Lanka. He had to build a bridge. But Hanumanji, just trusting in Rama's name, could jump over to Sri Lanka from India just in one leap. So the Rama's name is greater than Rama. Hanumanji could jump, just taking Rama's name, he could make the jump. Rama himself had to build the bridge. So very interesting. He didn't need a bridge. Hanumanji didn't need a bridge. Then he tells a funny story about a man who came to Sri Lanka, but he wanted to cross back to India. And at that time, Ravana was already dead, and his even more wicked more tamasic brother, Kumbhakarna, was also dead, but Vibhishana, he was the good brother. He was serving as the king of Lanka. And so Vibhishana said, oh yes, you want to cross the sea? Here, let me give you something. And he took a small leaf and he wrote the holy name of Rama on that leaf. And then he tied that leaf in the corner of the man's cloth. Just like in the corner of the cloth, you tie something there. So he tied that leaf with the name Rama in his cloth. And he said, now, don't be afraid. Have faith and walk on the water. You can walk, just walk with faith. You walk back to India. But see here, the moment you lose faith, you'll be drowned. Don't lose faith. Just have faith and go. So the man started on his journey, walking on the water, and how amazing. With great joy, he's walking on the water with tremendous faith in Vibhishana's words. And then about halfway across, he becomes intensely curious. What did Vibhishana tie in my cloth that enables me to walk on the water? This is amazing. So he reaches down, he unties what's tied there, and he finds the leaf with the name of Rama, and he thinks, what? Just this? And then he sank. So this is the one of Sri Ramakrishna's stories. This tremendous power of the divine name. How can the divine name have so much power? Because the name and the named are one. The name and the named are one. Just like if I utter your name, immediately there may be a room full of people talking, right? And suddenly someone in the corner says your name. And somehow your ear picks that out and says, oh, wait, someone's talking about me. What? Who? Where? What? Here I am. Here. So God is like that. There's a lot of noise in the world, but when we chant the name of God, God also says, I'm here. I'm one with my name and me. We're not separate. So there's another favorite verse that we chant in the Ram Nam. Let me chant this one also. Brahmam bodhisamudbhavam kalimala pradhamsanam chavyayam Shrimad Shambhu Mukhendu Sundarabare Samshobhitam Sarvada Samsaramaya Bheshajam Sukhakaram Shri Janaki Jivanam Dhanyaste Kritena Pibanti Satatam Shri Ramanam Amritam. Okay, this last part is the most touching. This Dhanyaste, blessed. Blessed are those people who Satatam Pibanti are ever drinking. What are they drinking? Shri Ramanam Amritam, the Amrita. That nectar of immortal bliss, which is the name of Rama. And what is that? What is that like? This is the whole verse is that nectar, which is churned out of the ocean of the Vedas, Brahmam Bodhi Samudbhavam, which completely destroys the darkness of the Kali Yuga, Kalimala Pradhamsanam Chavyayam, which is undecaying. And this is beautiful. Srimat Shambhu Mukhendu Sundaravare, who is ever sparkling on the exquisitely beautiful lips of Lord Shiva, shining like the moon. See, it is said that actually Rama is Shiva's guru and Shiva is Rama's guru. So on Rama's lips is always the name of Shiva, and on Shiva's lips is always the name of Rama. It is Rama's name that Shiva gives in Kashi when he grants liberation. So that name of Rama is shining on Shiva's lips, and which is the bliss-giving remedy for the disease of samsara and the very life of Janaki. That is the name of Sri Rama. And blessed, blessed are they, blessed are we who drink ever that nectar of the name of Rama. The name of Rama is constantly on Sri Ramakrishna's lips. If we closely read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and I have to say particularly in Bengali, sometimes Nikhilanji may translate it in different ways, but he's always saying Ram Ram. And sometimes if they've been talking of something like, the subject comes up of some of the dirty paths, the left-handed path of Tantra, and Sri Ramakrishna will say, well, yes, that is not a good path. I don't like that path, but a little bit they'll talk about that, and then he'll say Ram Ram, Ram Ram, to clear the air, to purify. We've been talking of unholy things, perhaps. Ram Ram Ram, and he often uses the Rama to mean that infinite divine reality. He would say, I see Rama in all things. You all are sitting here, but I see only Rama in each one of you. I see that it is God himself who has become everything, the universe and its living beings. There was when I visited Gangotri, after that we took a pilgrimage up to Gomukh, and up high in the Himalayas, halfway to Gomukh, which is the very source of the Ganga, the river Ganga, the holy sacred river Ganga. There's a small ashrama called Bhojvas, and there are some sadhus who stay there, and they provide lodging, very simple lodging, but they do give you blankets because it's cold up there. Blankets and they'll give you some. They provide some food, and the name of Rama is on everybody's lips. Though in the Himalayas usually we think of Shiva and climbing to Mother Jayama Ganga. You're thinking of Mother Ganga. But there, the name of Rama is on everybody's lips, and everything is given the name of Rama. Like when they say, here, they pass around the salt. What do they call the salt? They don't call it salt, they call it Rama Rasa, Rama Ras. That flavor which is Rama. Rama is actually the true salt which gives the flavor to life, which gives us the joy in life. So salt, just as salt makes food flavorful, so the name of Rama gives that flavor to life. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell the story of a monk, a sadhu who had a book, and every day he would read in that book, but he was very careful to guard that book. He wouldn't let anyone see it. Apparently he came to Dakshineshwar. One day Sri Ramakrishna was able to see what was in the book, and he opened the book, and to his surprise found that on every page was written only Om Rama. Om Rama, on every page. But the sadhu was reading it. How mysterious. Well, when one has attained illumination, the books are no longer necessary. But how to fill the time? So, you fill the time by immersing yourself in the thought of God all the time. You're already illumined, and simply repeating the name, reading the name, writing the name, for the realized soul, that is enough. He has so many stories. Probably I should, we don't have time to tell all these wonderful stories. But there's a couple of stories that take place at Pampa Lake, where Rama and Lakshmana come. And one is that they see a crow standing by the lake, by the edge of the water. And it looks very thirsty, but it's not taking a drink. And Lakshmana asks Rama, hey, what about that crow? What's going on with that crow? And Rama says, brother, this crow is a great devotee of God. Day and night it repeats the name of Rama. Its throat is parched with thirst, but still it won't drink for fear that it will miss one repetition of the name of Rama. So, of course, we can also be like that, chanting the name of Rama continually. But there are different levels of repetition. We can repeat with our lips and our tongue, but gradually we bring the repetition to our heart. So then it can go on continually. Even then we can drink, we can eat, and the repetition goes on because it's repeating in our heart. There's another a bittersweet story that Rama and Lakshmana went to Pampa Lake to take their bath, and they thrust their bows in the clay. And they had their bath and they came out, and as they took up their bows, on the tip of Lakshmana's bow there was a little blood. And this is the story as told by Sri Ramakrishna. And so Ram said, "Oh, brother, look at that. There's blood. Or perhaps some creature has been injured. Let's find out. So they dig. Lakshmana digs into the earth, and he finds a big bullfrog that has been mortally wounded by his bow and dying. So Rama said to this frog, he said very sorrowfully, "Why didn't you croak? We should have tried to save you. You croak lustily enough when you're in the jaws of a snake." And the bullfrog said, "O Lord, when I am attacked by a snake, I croak saying, 'O Rama, save me. O Rama, save me.'" That's the croaking of a bullfrog. "O Rama, save me. O Rama, save me. O Rama, save me." But this time I found that it was Rama who was killing me. So I kept still. That beautiful idea of total surrender. Total surrender. Rama is killing me, so why should I say anything? Because Rama himself is here. So Swami Vivekananda emphasized about Rama. He wrote a verse. This is a verse, these verses on Sri Ramakrishna, because he is writing this hymn to Sri Ramakrishna, "Ah Chandala," you know that song. The first verse is actually describing Sri Rama and his love, which extends down to everybody in society, even those who are rejected. And he refers to that story of Guhaka, the boatman, who, when Rama went for exile, he had to cross the river, and Guhaka was a boatman, and he was one of those who unfortunately was cast out from society, the untouchables. People didn't want to touch him. But Rama embraced him and told him, "I'll be back. In 14 years, I'll be back. Wait for me." And so 14 years go by, and as the 14 years are over and Rama still hasn't appeared, Guhaka becomes extremely disconsolate and is getting ready to commit suicide. He's so desperate. And just in the nick of time, Hanumanji comes and says, "No, Rama's coming, wait." And then Rama comes, and they have this joyous reunion after 14 years, and they embrace, and their tears fall down. Guhaka's tears fall, and Rama's tears also fall and drench their bodies. This beautiful, touching reunion. So this is Rama, the great lover. So Rama's story, of course, is entwined inextricably with that of Hanuman, the great devotee and hero of the Ramayana, the perfect embodiment of that dasya bhakti, that devotion of the servant. And Swami Vivekananda held up this dasya bhakti, this Hanumanji, as an ideal for us, the devotion of strength, not the weak weeping kind of bhakti. We could call it like Shakti Bhakti, the powerful devotion, or Bhakti Shakti, the power that arises out of devotion. What does Swami Vivekananda say about devotion? True love, it's fearless. He gives us three angles of the triangle of love, right? One is that love is fearless. If I have true love, I have no fear. What fear can I have when God is behind me? What fear can I have when I have love? Love for God. Love which is God. Love is with me all the time. God is with me all the time. How can I have any fear? I'm fearless. That kind of devotion. I am the servant of Rama. What can I fear? Who can I fear? Rama is there. And of course, the other angles are love knows no bargaining. Because I love simply for the sake of love. I don't want anything from God. Hanumanji didn't want anything from Rama, just to be his servant, just to love him and to serve him with tremendous vigor, fearlessly. And the third is that love knows no rival. Ultimately, all love is love for God. And any other love, why do we love each other? We love each other actually because the divine is shining in every heart. So Upanishad says, a husband loves the wife not for the sake of the wife, but for the sake of the self, for the divine shining in the wife's heart, and vice versa. So these are the angles of love. So how the service of the Lord brings this power, Hanumanji shows us that. And Hanuman was a master of his senses. He was a brahmachari. And he was a monkey. And yet, just through the power of devotion, he mastered his senses. He mastered his mind. Just like us, we also have a monkey mind. So through the power of devotion, we tame that monkey mind. And by repeating the name of Rama, we master our own minds. We become masters of our minds, like Hanumanji. But of course, Hanumanji is more than just a devotee. He's also divine. He is a divine devotee. He's a giver of fearlessness. He's a giver of strength. He's a giver of wisdom. And he's protector of the good and the righteous and the destroyer of demons. And yet also the very embodiment of humility. The humble servant of Rama. And it is he who opens the gate to the court of Rama and lets us in. Tulsidas was struggling to attain the vision of Rama. He was pining for Rama's vision, but he couldn't get it until he appealed to Hanumanji. Then Hanumanji brought him to the presence of Rama. And Hanumanji is known as a Chiranjiva, an eternal soul who is living still on earth today. It is said, I don't know, could be. As long as the world lasts, he dwells here in this world. And what does he do? Wherever the name of Rama is chanted, he comes and he listens with devotion. That is the nectar for him. A very interesting incident, when the Ram Nam was being sung in Benares, and Swami Brahmananda was there. Afterwards, he said, Hanumanji was here. I saw Hanuman come and listen. It was in the form of an old man who kind of shuffled in and stayed till the very end and then shuffled out. So he hides himself. You won't recognize him unless you have the eyes to see, like Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda. Some of the very touching incidents of the Ramayana involve Hanumanji, like that finding Sita. When everyone is looking for Sita, where is Sita? And finally, Hanumanji finds her in the Ashoka Grove, just imprisoned there by Ravana. And he comes to tell her, well, you know, Rama's coming. He hasn't forgotten about you. He's going to come. But Sita doesn't trust anybody because Ravana has been coming to her in different forms, trying to get her to agree to marry him. He's already got 100 wives, but he wants Sita as another wife. But Sita has only, her mind is completely on Rama alone. She doesn't trust anything. But Rama has given his ring, a special ring, signet ring, to Hanumanji. And he has told Hanuman a story involving the crow. I forget the story exactly, but only Sita and Rama know this story. So Hanumanji shows Sita the ring and gives her the ring and then tells her the story. And then suddenly she realizes that he's real. He really is a messenger from Rama. And Rama hasn't forgotten about her, and Rama is coming to find her and he's coming to save her. So that's so touching incident of Hanumanji. He's also got a tremendous sense of humor. When he's leaping across the ocean to Lanka, and there's a great demoness who is in the ocean there, and she says that all beings who pass there have to enter her mouth. So she's hungry. Hanumanji is flying through the air, and she's, lunchtime, here we go. So she comes up and opens her mouth to swallow Hanumanji. But Hanumanji has tremendous powers. So he makes himself bigger. So she can't swallow him. But she's also a powerful demoness. So she makes herself even bigger. But Hanumanji is not to be stopped. He makes himself bigger yet. And it so goes on until they both become enormous. Then suddenly, Hanumanji shrinks himself down to the size of a mosquito, flies in the demoness's mouth, flies out her nostril, and says, I've entered your mouth, I've fulfilled your words. Goodbye. I've got to go. Tremendous sense of humor. Wonderful. There's 4 images of Hanumanji that are, there's many images, but there's kind of 4 classic images that I love, that are very inspiring to me. Let's just remember them for a minute. One is the Ram Darbar. where Sri Ram and Sita and Lakshmana and Hanumanji are there. And I think I put them here. I can, and so this picture, can you all see it? This picture, that's the classic picture of Rama with Hanumanji. But look at Hanumanji, how he is displayed. He's looking where? At Rama's feet, in utter devotion. He has no eyes for anything else but Rama's feet. This beautiful, utterly humble devotion. His weapon is laid down, and Rama's hand is on his head, blessing him. Sita is also blessing him. That utter dedication to Rama. Sri Ramakrishna used to mention, someone asked Hanumanji, which day of the fortnight, what's the tithi? What day of the fortnight it is? And Hanumanji answers, brother, I don't know anything of the day of the week, or the fortnight, the tithi, or the position of the stars. I think of Rama alone. And he has this single-minded devotion for Rama, this nishtha. The first verse that we often chant in the Ram Nam, Shri Nathe Janaki Nathe Abheda Paramatmani Tathapi Mama Sarvasva Rama Kamalalochana. So this could also have been chanted by Hanumanji. This is the idea. I know that God is one. I know that Lord Vishnu, the Lord of Lakshmi, Sri Nath. I know that Sri Nath and Janaki Nath, Rama, I know they're one. I know that Rama and Krishna and Buddha and Jesus, I know they're one. I know that Durga and Shiva and Kartikeya and all the different divine forms, I know they're one. But still, my all in all, the one I love, the one I adore, is that lotus-eyed Rama. So this idea of the Ishta Devata, that we know God is one, yet we approach that infinite divine through in a particular attitude and through a particular form. In this case, the form of Sri Rama. Okay, one more little that Sri Ramakrishna several times he has presented Hanuman also as the great harmonizer of the different philosophical traditions, because and I don't know where this story appears, but Sri Ramakrishna tells it many times that Rama asked Hanuman, Hanuman, what attitude do you cherish towards me when you worship me? And Hanuman answered, sometimes when I think of myself as a body, then you are the Lord and I am your servant. When I understand that actually I am a soul, I have a body but I am a soul, then I know that you are the whole and I am a part of you. And when I have the complete knowledge of reality, when I know the infinite Brahman, then I understand that you and I are not separate, that I am you and you are me. So this is a way to harmonize the different philosophical schools. The Dvaita school that says that we are the eternal servants of God, ever separate from God. The Vishishtadvaita school, which says we are sparks of the infinite. We are all one in the divine, sparks in the infinite fire of God. And the Advaita school, where we say that there's no two, we are one in the divine. And since for most of us, most of the time, we think of ourselves as bodies, we have a strong body consciousness. It does not go. Sri Ramakrishna used to say in this yuga, the annagata pran is the term, that our life depends on food. So we have a strong body consciousness. So it's very safe to remain as a servant of God, as the servant of Rama. Okay, there's another picture of Lakshmana, of Hanumanji flying through the air, carrying a mountain. What's he doing? Why is he carrying a mountain? Can you see that? He's carrying the mountain. So how interesting. What happened? Lakshmana is in the battle. He's shot by a poisoned arrow. He's going to die. Unless there's a special sacred herb in the Himalayas. And that can save him. The doctor said, yes, this herb will save your life, will save his life. Hanuman, go get it. Go get that herb. Yes, here I go. Off. Goes to the Himalayas. He finds the mountain. But oh my God, what to do? It's covered with herbs. Which herb is the one that's going to save Lakshmana's life? There's dozens, maybe hundreds of different plants. Which one is it? He doesn't know. Well, okay, simple solution. Take the whole mountain. Bring the whole mountain back. And he brings the mountain back, and the doctors find the herb and save Lakshmana's life, and the happy ending of the day. So that amazing strength and practicality. Hanumanji, he had that strength. He was the son of the wind, the son of Vayu. And it said that as a boy, he used to prank the sages. He used to play pranks on the sages, and they got annoyed, and one of them cursed him. Not a very serious curse, but this much: you will forget your strength. So that he would stop pranking them. So it is said that Hanumanji needs to be reminded of his strength. And in fact, when they were all thinking, oh, we need to go to Lanka, who will go to find Sita in Lanka? And Hanumanji, he didn't think of it. He didn't volunteer. He had to be reminded by Jambavan, who reminded him who he is, that he has the strength, that he reminds him of all the deeds he's done. Then he remembers, yes, then he's ready to go. Taking the name of Rama, fixing his mind on Rama, he jumps. But actually, we are all in the same condition. We have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten our power. We have forgotten our divinity. So Swami Vivekananda says, we must remind ourselves constantly of who we are, of our own glory and magnificence. Constantly reminding ourselves. Okay, the third image is this a little bit gory image of Hanumanji tearing open his heart. And what do you see inside? Sitaram. Sitaram is inside. Here you can, if you open, he's actually, it's even a little blood dripping down. So this is the third image that's so well known. And what's the story? The battle is won, everything, the Sita is back in Ayodhya, everybody's happy, and they're all before the final unhappy ending, which is we're not going to discuss, and because it's probably an interpolation. So this is the happy ending, and Rama is giving gifts to everybody for their deeds in the battle, and etc., etc. And he wants to give Hanumanji something, but he doesn't want anything. No, Lord, I don't need anything. All I want is pure love. That service is its own reward. Seva is its own reward. I don't need anything. Most of us, we want some recognition. Hanumanji, no, I've got my reward already. But so Sita, she takes off a pearl necklace, beautiful pearl necklace, and gives it to Hanumanji. So Hanumanji looks at it, and then he looks at the bead closely, and he puts it in his mouth, and he breaks it, and he looks inside. What's in the pearl? And nothing. And he throws it away, and then he starts biting on the second one, and the people start laughing, and they're kind of shocked. After all, he's a monkey. He doesn't know the value of a pearl necklace. Then they ask, "Well, what are you doing, Hanumanji? Why are you?" He's asked, "Well, what are you doing? Why are you breaking?" And he says, "Well, see, there's one thing in this world which has value, and that is Sri Ram. So I'm seeing is Rama inside these pearls. If Rama is inside them, then it's something of value. But if Rama is not there, then it's valueless. It has no value at all." And so someone says, "Well, you also have your body. You're wearing your body, as it were. Is Rama inside your body?" "Oh yes, he is. Here he's right here." And then he tears open his heart, and he shows Sitaram shining in his heart. So that's sort of this third picture. The pearls part you don't see there. You just see him. But that's the beautiful story. Sri Ramakrishna, he couldn't learn math, He was brilliant in so many ways, but mathematics was very difficult. But one thing in math he learned and he used to teach. And he said, suppose you have a large number, like a 1 with, say, 20 zeros after it. You have a very, very large number. But what happens if you take away the 1? You may have 20 zeros, you may have 100 zeros, but it's still 0. God is that 1. God is the 1. All the things in our lives are like zeros. If we put a 1 in our lives, in front of those zeros, if we put God in the front of our lives, if we make God the center of our life, then all the other things add to that number, add to the glory of the divine. But without God, it's just 0. So this is the pearl necklace. And then finally, this, let's see if I can find it, this beautiful picture of Rama embracing Hanuman. You know, this is after he brings back the mountain and the sacred herb, the Sanjeevani herb, which restores Lakshmana's life. Rama is so pleased with Hanuman that he actually embraces him. Reminds me of Sri Ramakrishna's story, you know, of the servant and the king. And if one day, if the throne is empty and the servant goes up and he sits down in the throne and says, hey, you know, actually there's no difference between me and the king. We're both human beings after all. I can sit here just as much as the king. Everyone will be shocked. And the king will not be pleased. He may be punished, he may be dismissed from the service. Or in the old days, off with his head. But what if the king, very pleased with the devoted service of one of his servants, says, hey, my dear servant, come sit beside me on the throne. It's quite all right, sit here. There's no difference between you and me. I'm so pleased with your service. Then the servant can go and sit on the throne next to the king. So it's like that. Rama is embracing Hanumanji, and that is the divine embrace, which is for all of us. Rama is ready to embrace us. Divine Mother is ready to take us in her arms. We just wait for that. So finally, maybe we can close with that line that Swami Vivekananda wrote to his brother disciples when he was in America, but he's girding his brother disciples to take up the work and start the work. And he says, as disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, as servants of Sri Ramakrishna, we have nothing to fear. And he puts it in tremendously powerful language. It's like this: we shall crush the stars to atoms and unhinge the universe. Don't you know who we are? We are the servants of Sri Ramakrishna. That kind of power. Don't you know we will crush? He puts it in Sanskrit. Kurmastaraka charvanam tribhuvanam utpatayami balad. Kim bho navijanasya Ramakrishna dasa vayam. Ramakrishna dasa vayam. We are the servants of Sri Ramakrishna. We will crush the stars to atoms. That much we can do. We can do anything when we serve Sri Ramakrishna. So that tremendous power comes. So we are called to be that, to be servants of Sri Ramakrishna, to be servants of the Lord, of the Divine Mother, of Sri Rama, of whichever form of the divine calls us to serve, to embody that strength of the devotee, to manifest that fearlessness, that same-sightedness for all, to be peacemakers, to bring out the divine in others. So let us remind ourselves of the power of devotion and that power that it gives us. Now I promised Ashish that I would sing a Rama. We should sing at least one Rama song. Do we have the words? Can we pass out the words?
Yeah.
Or we have to sing a simple song? What are we saying? Something simple like...
Swamiji, you can sing that first tune that you heard in the increasing tempo.
Yeah, no, I can't do that one. That guy had this gift of doing it, and
You too have to do
there
it.
is no way to do. I need an ektar to do that. What a Bhaya Hara Mangala. I think most of us know that song, no? We can sing that. Does someone know how to play Kanjani?
Bas.
Do we have some Kanjani?
Yeah.
Play that. I'll play it on the harmonium. And we'll play with that. Okay, let's quickly go over the words. Bhaya Hara, the fear dispelling, Mangala, all auspicious, Dasharatha Ram, the son of Dasharatha, Jaya Jaya Mangala Sita Ram. Just names of Rama. Mangala Kara Jaya Mangala Ram. Sangata Shubha Vibhavodaya Ram. I'm not sure what that means actually. Udaya means the rising of Sangata Shubha Vibhavodaya Ram. Then this one, Anandamrita Varshakaram. This is the Rama is the rain of the nectar of bliss falling on our hearts. Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Ram. He's most compassionate. He loves those who have taken refuge in him. And then Raghupati Raghava Rajaram. Patita Pavana Sitaram. Patita Pavana, the rescuer of the fallen. So let's see if we can sing that one.
I think that means a vibhava, without bhava.
Without
Yeah, vibhava. Shubha vibhava.
Jaya Jaya Mangala Sita सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय।
पवन पुत्र हनुमान की
जय।
बोलो